And this is our enhancement for week 7. Like to go through my validation first. I'm on the vehicles page. Refresh that. And let's just see if our CSS is validating, which it is. And our local HTML. Looks good. And now let's go ahead. You can see I've been adding quite a few here. Let's refresh that though. And let's go into add a classification. And let's just test this. We're going to call this the Amy car. And submit. There's Amy car right there. And let's add a classification and let's give it something that we really don't want it to accept. And so it now says only alphanumeric fields allowed. Let's go ahead and take off client validation. And it kicks it back to a blank state, which is what we want. So that's working the way that we want it to work. So let's go back one level and take it into the add vehicle screen. We're going to select Amy's car, let's say, and we'll just give it a bunch of testing information here. Let's see what happens when we don't have all the forms filled. And it continues to ask us to have it filled. Let's see what it does when we use the no validate. And it says all forms must be filled. And it retained those sticky features that we wanted it to retain. So let's test some more here and throw in something we don't want. Validate. Okay, I'm just going to go through it without explaining and just hopefully everything will work out the way it should. Got that error. Let's go ahead and do something the right way and submit. This one is open. It's kind of like a wild card. It can have whatever it wants in it. It needs to have special characters and everything else included as well. So we're going to bypass that one. And this time I'm not going to have it in the right format. Whoa, don't know what happened there. Okay. Right. And it returns back to the blank state when you don't have it in the correct format. And it should like it now. Turns to a green state, which is good. Let's do the same thing here. Submit, doesn't like it. No validate, submit, same thing. Returned it back to this state, which is, I've just got a placeholder in there. Kind of hard to see. And it took it this time. So now let's just do a price. It was happy with that. Does it like this too? It didn't. What about if we take away one of those? And now it does. Let's also try that with a no validate. And not happy with it. So let's go and put in a price it will like. And yeah, good. Now we're going to move on to the next one. And that worked great. What about if we have some of this in there? Doesn't. It shouldn't like that one. So that one might have a little error. Let's go ahead and give that throw that some errors. Okay. So both of these should return back to a blank state and they didn't. So I need to work on those just a little bit. But if we try to validate on that, it's still saying that all forms must be filled. So it did not like either one of these. Like I said, I need to go through and troubleshoot and just see what the problem was there. Let's try that. There we go. It doesn't like that requested format. And it doesn't like it that way either. And this one did kick it back. So Not sure what happened on that first try, but anyway. Let's see. All forms must be filled. And they look like they are, so not so sure why it's not accepting that on that side. Of course, when you do your video, all kinds of funky stuff happens, right? When it's working beforehand. So I have some issues that I need to work out on the back side of that. But let's go ahead and see if these ones will validate. Now it's scaring me after all we've been through to see if the add vehicle page is going to validate. And it did. So let's go through now and check our HTML. And maybe that'll tell me why I'm having some issues, but actually it's validating. And I'm pretty sure we did it on the classified. Add classification screen. And classification screen, we are going to validate that. I think I already did this. Apologize if I did already, but and there you go. So hopefully that covered it. We'll work on those extra errors there, but thank you very much.